All right, so today I'm going to be talking about why you need a next gen foam paddle. And so I'll show you some of the older paddles that we have, which are Gen 3, and the problems with the designs for them. And so I got a couple here. So I got an SLK Air Power with Selkirk. And so the problem with older Gen 3 paddles is they do something called core crushing, which is basically they break inside. So let me show you what it sounds like. Look at that. That's basically the center of this paddle is basically like all broken. And basically that makes all of your hits inconsistent. You don't know if you're going to hit it hard, you're going to hit it soft when it hits that. And I'll show you what it's doing inside. So basically inside of Gen 3 paddles, they have honeycomb cores. So imagine like you have a bunch of straws and they're all just stacked up inside here. And when you hit the ball on here, the straw is strong. So imagine like pushing a straw down from the ends. Like it's strong until what? The straw snaps or bends and then becomes really weak. Or if you push the straw from the side, it can bend very easily. So over time with Gen 3 paddles, you're not always hitting the ball exactly straight onto the paddle. And so if you hit it at an angle, over time that causes pressure on these honeycomb like cylinders, and then they'll actually compress and eventually like crack. So you can see inside of here, some of these are kind of like a little bit warped. And so that's what's inside of a paddle that causes it to do that crunch. So you have even like newer types of Gen 3 paddles, such as the RPM, that are a little bit more sturdier, they're stronger, but they still, over time, get that crunching and cracking. So that's essentially an inherent problem of Gen 3 paddles. I mean, they play well, they have good touch and feel, but then over time, yeah, they will break in a matter, sometimes months. It could last you a longer time, maybe even a year or longer if you're not playing as much or not hitting as hard. But that's essentially the problem with Gen 3 Honeycomb. And so they have Gen 4 and beyond, which is like foam cores. So Gen 3, I mean, they do have some foam inside them, but they mostly use like soft, like, so if you see here, this is kind of like soft perimeter foam. So that's basically to help with like dampening when you hit the paddle, but it's not used as the primary hitting surface. And so one thing I was looking at is, so like Gen 4 paddles, like they have a foam core construction, and I mean, they have different types of foam paddles. So there's the tried and true, there's like the boomstick, which or like the carbon Genesis. Let me grab some of that. So there's the true foam, like Genesis. Those are kind of like the well-known like foam core paddles, but yeah, they're much more durable. So let me show you. I stripped apart one of the next gen. So this is the Gator Strike Gen 5 X armor, and I stripped it apart, and you can show you the inside of it. It has like really strong foam in here that, I mean, that's gonna resist like any sort of breaking, and which is amazing because this paddle has a lifetime warranty, right? And so with a lifetime warranty on the core and the paddle overall, like, even if you, I don't even know how you're going to break this to begin with, but if you do, like, you can just get it replaced. Compared to, I mean, the Gen 3s, they only allow for like a 6-month to 1 year like warranty, and you're likely going to break it over time. So one thing that was notably different about this Gen 5 paddle was the fact that they added a separate layer of like foam inside of here for dampening. So most of the time when paddles add foam, they just add the perimeter foam out here, meaning if you hit here, it's going to vibrate until it hits that edge foam here. But the fact that they added the like, so this is like a softer like foam in here. So as you can see, I can actually squish it all the way in. That softer foam allows for a faster dampening of that vibration. So even though like it has that soft like dampening, like the paddle hits really hard. So you get the hard hitting while maintaining like a dampened control. So like if you have like off centered like resets, that's going to be like super controlled here. So this is, yeah, one of the highly rated like new foam paddles. So come check it out. I mean, you get this at 150, which is actually cheaper than a lot of the Gen 3. So if you're going for like an RPM that's 250 or a Selkirk Era Power that's 200, and after discount codes you can get this down to one, like I think it's normal prices I think it's like 250 as well. But I mean, right now they got some like awesome like discounts down to 189 plus an additional discount code to 150. This paddle's been playing great. So that's just kind of my take on new foam cores versus the Honeycomb, and why for the everyday average player you should look into a foam core paddle. So you have a great durability and then a great dampening effects as well, because that allows you to insert foam into the dampening part where you wouldn't have before with the older Gen 3 Honeycombs. So, all right. Well, be sure to subscribe, and maybe I'll be giving away some of these Gator Strike paddles later. So check out the description. See you guys later.